Good morning, everyone. Good morning, dear friends. If you hear me and you see me, please click the fire in the right bottom corner. My name is Artem Mushin-Makedonskiy, and I'm the founder of History Academy. And since 2018, we've been working on stories and how we can help companies, people to achieve their goals. This is our fifth conference, and as usual, our aim is to see and follow the light of the stories. Today, our motto is the stories that light now, and we want to see how these stories actually light the present. Just recently, I've been in Yerevan in IT company, and in this IT company, there was a very easy task to do. The mentors were to communicate with the people we are working actually with. We are mentoring. And my aim was to help them and see that stories can help them. Well, I asked them to share some stories from their lives, some situations. I've just showed them the question, and the question was the following. Please tell me about the moment when, at the beginning of your work in the company, you thought, well, how good it is, actually, how cool it is to work here. And one person who shared the story shared the following. During one meeting in the Zoom, um, this person was very skeptical, and then he just saw how in the chat other members started really um, openly be critical about these suggestions that were um, aired during this Zoom meeting. And this person was so shocked that that other employers could be so critical about the suggestions of the leadership of a company. This person was actually so shocked and happy that, well, this is the place where you can be so open about your views. This story actually shows some core values of the company. It shows that the company is open to hear and listen to the people that are working in this company. So our goal today and during the following days is to see how the stories they actually can illuminate our values. They can um, help us share our ideas and give us the perspective. So I want to um, light my own lighthouse. Actually, this was a present from my wife. I've constructed it myself, and today I light this lighthouse in the hope that during the days of our conference, we would all get a bit more light in our lives, and we would all understand how we can brighten and illuminate our days with the stories, with our lives with the stories. So let's now think about our hopes for the coming days. Can you please share what your hopes are for this conference, where you are lighting your lighthouse right now? So please write in the chat in every form you like. Just share what you're expecting, what are your hopes, or you can just write where you are, what is your mood. Let's just share some emotions um, before the begin. Well, someone wrote that the aim for today is to listen to good stories. We see the good and wonderful mood in the chat. Someone wrote this. Someone wants to get inspired and find new tools for the and instruments for the work. Oh, great. Well, and today we have wonderful speakers, just as in the common days as well. So I will talk a bit about the agenda for today, and we will then begin. Well, in the first part of the day, we would have the presentation from Yulia Ziatdinova, the event manager from Vkusvill, and we'll be talking about how we can talk about the corporate strategy. When we would have a wonderful Soundari Mukherjee, who will be talking about the obstacles and how the stories can help to overcome the corporate obstacles. When we would have Ralph Weigel, who practices the positive approach to the company development, he would be talking about the nurturing of your best selves. And when we would have two more speakers in the first part of the day, first Lilia Bigbova, who would share her experience of the project No More Shadows, and we would have the interview with Sarah Silvernoinen. She would share her experience in the corporate field as well. Well, please share your emotions. Please click the fire button. Just see if you're inspired with all of this. Because it always inspires the speakers and the organizers surely to see the fires coming up. And now I would like to welcome our first speaker, Yulia Ziatdinova. I'm happy to have you here. Yulia, hi. Hi, Artem. Hope you can hear me and see me. Please click the fire button if you can hear and see Yulia. Thank you, Yulia, for being your first. Thank you for helping me and open this conference. Well, surely I'm a bit worried. Uh, I hope that everything would be fine. I wanted to have such a beautiful background as your term, but unfortunately, I didn't manage. Well, today we'll be talking together with Julia about the event that we had in March. But first, Julia, can you share with our listeners, with our participants, um, about all about our event? Well, yes, we had a conference. This was a hybrid conference. We had both some participants offline and online. For us, it was important to share our stories with everyone. We are a huge company. We cannot be only offline. We have more than 30,000 employees. And our conference had the following name, Vkusvill, Today and Tomorrow. Why it was needed? We have a very specific organization of the leadership. We don't have a strategy as such, so to say. Our main strategy is the evolution of the company. Well, for us, it was important to have a real big event. We are very living, dynamic org organism, so to say, not just a company. Why we've decided to have an event with stories. Um, we wanted to share our vision. We wanted not only to share it in print, but we wanted people to understand it. It's really to trust us, to see why we need this particular vision and so on. So, uh, as far as I understood, you You didn't only want to share the knowledge about your vision and strategy, but you also wanted to um, really connect with people. Yes, our main goal was really to show what is now going on in the company and what we are looking forward to. We wanted to show our results. We wanted to people to understand why we are successful, what led to this, and what we need to do now in order to pursue our goals in the future. Thank you very much. And from the point of view of preparation, I will talk about it a bit later, about the format we were using, um, how you selected people who are going to be the speaker, who were going to be the speakers at this conference. So what was the selection method? Well, probably this is your field, because you were the active participant of the preparation work. Well, but we have experts in our company. General director, for example, he's not the expert in all the fields. He knows his particular field. We have some colleagues who are leaders of particular direction. We had the survey, we had the feedback from the colleagues, and we understood that many of our people from our team, we couldn't understand the vision of the company, maybe some tasks for the future, and we saw that probably there were more questions in particular directions, and this is why we approached the leaders of those directions so they would explain. Well, the expert approach is indeed very useful. Thank you very much that you are so open and transparent about this. It's sometimes for people hard to say that some colleagues don't understand something, but they actually want to know more. Well, I also have one more question for now. You had the speakers from the stage, you had the panel discussion, but also you did lots of other small events, so to say. Can you just share what were the best parts of the conference for you that made it really clear for you? So my main idea was to make online closer to offline. Because sometimes people just are having fun offline, but those who stay online, they just listen and don't have that much fun. Well, just yesterday, I was rereading the feedback from our online participants, and for me, this is indeed a victory, but we managed to engage engage the people online as well. And I also was happy, happy to learn that many colleagues who just joined the company, we were also very engaged. We also managed to understand where we're going. We have our main laboratory of innovation, so to say, and in both online and in offline, uh, we had the possibility to be part of this laboratory. We also have a special moderator for the online participants. So during the breaks, this moderator was networking with the colleagues, and although those participants they couldn't physically talk, really be present, but they had this networking. They also had the possibility to talk and so on. Yes, many people came physically to our conference, but still online wasn't fine, was cool. And as for this laboratory of innovations, throughout our conference, we managed to fill the tank, the ideas tank of this laboratory. And through the conference, we one just one more time had the possibility to showcase the possibilities of this laboratory of innovations so that every employee could really see that it's really easy to uh, share your ideas, share your innovations. They, they would be all read, they would be all reviewed, considered, and even fulfilled. And for for the participants, there was a possibility just to um, submit your idea during the conference, and other colleagues could just vote and support some of the ideas. More than 80 ideas were submitted during the conference. More than 700 likes were given to the ideas. So people were actively reading all those submissions, just our employees. And we already even started working on several of those ideas. What we also did, we had some interactive zones, so to say, where you could learn some numbers, maybe for those who are interested, because sometimes it's also cool to learn the statistics about the company. I really liked this idea with the voting for the submitted ideas. So you not only submit your idea, your project for some innovations, but you can also be part of other people's ideas. You can support them, that really builds the team. What was actually the mood, the atmosphere in the hall? You were the organizer. Probably it was hard to feel the vibe, but still, because you had so much things to do. But still, what was the mood and what were the results? Yep, I'm indeed an event manager. So, unfortunately, I couldn't just sit and feel the vibe of the conference, but I had the possibility to talk to participants, to my colleagues, and I also could see the people, yeah, and I saw how engaged they were, and that's really cool. And I see already the result that people actually talk the same language now. They quote something that was said on the conference. So we use the same terms. Well, we didn't know actually how to finish the conference properly. I mean, to have a real cool ending. Um, we wanted to show that the so-called um, possibility of making the mistakes is um, actively fostered in the company. So we are not afraid of mistakes. We are afraid of not doing something new. So at the end, we've suggested that everyone can just imagine what the company would be like in the future, in 5 years' time. So every participant could write down his or her ideas on the future of Vkusvill. For example, some could just write, well, in 5 years we would have the zoo in Vkusvill. I believe there was an idea there was like refrigerator who is controlling what products are in the fridge, and they could just automatically order it from Vkusvill. Well, this was actually the idea from one of our top managers, and it was actually good that all of our leadership, they were all also very engaged. Well, and now when some of the ideas that were written, and now they are somehow already fulfilled, um, the colleagues, they just share that they have this card with this idea written, and they send it to us, and they write in the letter, "I told you so," and they actually get the prize for this. Well, before the event, I believe I asked you um, if it's okay if a person would do something to really fulfill this idea that he or she wrote in this card, if it was considered a cheating, and it was cool that the company representative said that no, it's just cool. Well, what I would also like to mention is that uh, just during the conference, we were thinking about the way we can make our delivery faster. And it was just in the end of March, and just yesterday we released the news that the speed of delivery is faster now. So cool, just less than 2 months. And we already have very nice comments about Vkusvill, and I can only just um, second everything that's said. We had tons of feedback from the participants. That was really cool. And one question that we were asking is about the outtakes that you had. And some feedbacks were really, really cool. I'm still working on them. And some of, in many feedbacks, I read the following, like it was interesting to learn what we are looking forward to, uh, what way we covered, and it's cool to be a part of this company. Someone wrote that Vkusvill tomorrow is actually Vkusvill what we are making now. Many people were also writing about the fact that now they feel that um, it's so easy to be a part of Vkusvill that many people write that they feel creative in our company and that they are happy to be a part of this creative vibe in the company. How many, there is a question in the chat, how many participants were in the conference? You have more than three, uh, 30,000 employees. Well, unfortunately, we cannot just shut down all the shops, all our retail shops. We have dark stores, we have uh, um, delivery men running all over the place. So we cannot just stop and make everyone join. So offline, we had about 800 people. As for online, we had 200,000 people. And also, we were calculating those who watched the conference afterwards in the video. I believe that um, the numbers are quite good. And according to the feedback that we were gained, not so many people were not totally unaware of the conference. I believe it would be cool to make something memorable for those who couldn't follow the conference as well. It's good that I also had the recording. That's also something very, it can be something beneficial for the for those who couldn't follow online. Well, thank you for sharing this story. Uh, Maybe there are some questions. We have some time. Yulia should also is running to another event today, but we still have her for some 10 minutes. Can you recommend something to the people who also want to share the company strategy with their employees? What would be your main recommendation? Well, surely, if the strategy that is printed on 500 pages, it's hard to recommend something. In our case, we wanted to showcase what real steps we need to take. Well, here I would like to recommend the following. You need to have the focus. Uh, you need to be clear about this. Uh, every speaker that was going to join the conference had to answer the question, what people would learn uh, w- after their speech, what people need to believe in after every speech. That was indeed important. That really helped to have a proper focus in the speeches. How you were gaining the feedback? I We were using the instruments we are usually using. Actually, I I forgot um, what we were using. This is from our research team. We actually are using the Google Forms. The instruments are they can be quite simple. We also our corporate programs as well. S- We have the special bot also for getting feedback. As for what we can do better next time, well, that's a hard question to answer right now because we don't know yet uh, what would be needed. So I'm not sure, but we would need to use the same format this year because probably the strategy would be still clear. We would need to understand what should be illuminated and should be shown to the colleagues because we only organize events when they are actually needed, but um, still it was a success. Um, I was managing the event, so I can probably see some disadvantages as well, some problems. Um, but that's life. We can always do something better. But I like your idea that you always need to organize event only when it's really needed. The event, just for the sake of the event, is totally unnecessary. And there is a question in the chat. Um, Is there a recording that is publicly available? No, we were not making it public. Just, we decided not to do this. But we would see a bit from it, a very short clip from this event. Julia, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your experience. Um, that's indeed good that and cool that you are using these stories to see it, to make people feel part of the company. Thank you very much, Julie. Once again, please click the fire button you know, just to see, just to make Julia see how you liked her um, speech today. Thank you very much. Hope see you soon and goodbye. Well, in the meantime, I will share with you a bit um, info from the backstage, how we were preparing this event. I will show some of the examples from the event. As Yulia already told, the conference was dedicated to the today and tomorrow of the company. We were going to show what are the processes now in the company and how the company is going to work in the future. So, in preparation for the conference, we've decided that the whole conference would be made from the speeches, but not just one speaker would be on stage, but there would be always two, like in the dialogue. And to every team, we've presented the following question: what do we want to help our teammates believe? So we decided that just to ask about the strategy was useless. We wanted people to understand that every speech is actually they're aimed on formation of some beliefs, and many people were saying the following: in during the conference, we want people to understand and to believe in the following, that we all are working not just for fun, we want to make them their life better and so on. Some were saying, for example, that we want to help our customers. Well, so we've collected all those ideas, what uh, people shall believe in, and using this concept, we were then working on the structure of the speech. And actually, it was really a very seamless process how people started to form their speeches. And they were not just working on statistics, they always used stories. Where would be subtitles in English?
Получается, вот такой у нас покупатель, да, спокойный, требовательный, серьезный. И это подтверждается тем, какие профессии более характерны для покупателей Vkusvill. Получается, что у нас представители медицинских профессий в 2 раза более характерно для них быть покупателем Vkusvill. Медики, IT-специалисты вообще в 5 раз. Да? Преподаватели, ученые, люди науки тоже более характерно быть нашим покупателем.
Теперь понятно, почему у нас нередко рекомендуют врачи, особенно педиатры. И мне вспомнилась одна история, которую сын принес из школы по поводу учителей и людей науки. На уроке химии они проходили нитраты. И учитель, как яркий пример, говорила про нитрат натрия, который добавляют в колбасу и сосиски, чтобы они стали яркими, розовенькими, поаппетитнее, так сказать. И как аналог, как альтернативу, простите, она предложила ребятам из класса обязательно зайти во Вкусвилл и посмотреть, как выглядит настоящая колбаса без нитрита натрия. Кажется, это тоже очень здорово.
So you see how they combined statistics with the short stories. So it was both informative and at the same time it was provoking some emotions and beliefs. And it helped a lot to form the strategy. As you see, format that was used for the event was actually very helpful because this idea of an interview is more interesting to follow. One person asks the question and another person shares the story. And what was because they were naturally reactive. It wasn't just the it wasn't just about following this scenario. We were actively engaged in the dialogue and attentively and actively listening, and then forming, phrasing the meaning. And you would see the very nice example of how it was
появляются новые
actually
люди в команде?
done.
Вот в вашей первой команде как этот человек появился?
Не, ну там столько историй. Максим, ну то есть как бы Дима появился в феврале 2009 года.
Их помню.
Это был второй человек, с которым я собеседовался на вакансию, ну типа технолог. Я узнал, да, что он кандидат наук, вырос в селе и хорошо понимает, что такое свежее молоко. Я сказал: о, ты мне как раз и нужен.
То есть получается, что Дима подошел, потому что он был эксперт
Он
в молоке.
был эксперт по продуктам, да.
Ага.
Да.
Ну, Алена, следовательно,
В этом
была...
смысле Дима и до сих пор, и всегда, в общем-то, человека, которого никогда нельзя было обмануть по составу продукта. Я же вырос, я представляю, что такое натуральный творог. Да? Как меня можно обмануть?
Смотри, ты сейчас сказал очень важную вещь. Взять человека в команду, который очень хорошо разбирается в том, да, вот в этой отрасли. Но это же всегда очень страшно. Вот представляешь, придет кто-то, кто лучше тебя разбирается, а что же будет со мной?
В этом же и основная фишка.
Команды?
Найти человека, который лучше тебя разбирается.
А что будет со мной, который не разбирается?
Ну, как я, например, я вот что, все разбираются лучше меня, уже нет вопросов, в которых я разбираюсь. И я в этом смысле пошел, когда уже сам ничего не можешь делать.
Мне кажется, Андрей...
Иди учить, да?
Мне кажется, что пришло время. Коллеги, вам интересно, чем сейчас Андрей занимается? Да? Если интересно, давайте, Андрей, расскажи, пожалуйста.
I'm really curious now. Please put the file in the chat if after this short clip it's clear for you how the people are hired in Vkusvill. And if you really liked it. It's hard to explain what it means to hire the experts, to promote the experts. It's hard to believe in such words when they are not really supported by the real story. What was also cool in this event, and here you can see actually the picture of lighthouses that are called resistors. They were specially relocated from the sea coast. Now we are only used for people to admire. They are not used as lighthouses, but still. So why I need this picture now? Because we actually also had three parts in the event, three main directions of work: faith, strategy, and confidence. The organizers wanted to share the following. We wanted their colleagues to understand that the strategy about real rigid strategies actually work. The second direction of work and second idea that the organizers wanted to share is that there are some concrete plans and following this plan, we can be confident we would achieve the main goal, that is actually the provision of healthy food to the people. And the third part is actually that we all have faith in Vkusvill, faith in every person, even if they make mistakes. We also had, as I already said, panel discussion that I was honored to moderate, and my main goal was to form such questions that would provoke the storytelling from the panelists. And here you would listen to the story that is showcasing this idea of confidence in the company.
Начинаешь прям верить вместе с вами. Коллеги, вы прочувствовали, что люди не сразу пришли, а сейчас вот верят прям истово, да? Есть такое, я вижу кивающие головы, хорошо. Но я все равно буду на своем стоять, потому что, ну ладно, вы-то верите, но давайте так, как вы объективно видите, что не только вы видите, что Vkusvill действительно растет, что это объективно происходит, снаружи это как-то можно пощупать, это видно?
Ой, можно я? Я даже вперед чуть-чуть сяду, потому что это эмоционально. Отдел поиска, да, видит эти подтверждения ежедневно, потому что на сегодняшний день мы один из самых привлекательных арендаторов на рынке. А когда-то было все совсем по-другому. И я вспоминаю, как один из арендодателей с таким высокомерием несколько раз переспросил меня: как вы называетесь, как? И знаешь, вот как-то вот Vkusvill хочется произносить с гордостью, а тогда я это произносила, но его это так не впечатляло. И в конце он с таким, знаешь, высокомерием мне говорит: ну, мы имеем дела только с такими конкретными ритейлерами, серьезными игроками, с такими как Пятерочка, Азбука Вкуса, Дикси. И так напоследок он мне такое говорит: а кто вы вообще такие? Ну, откуда вы взялись? И уже я тогда была крайне раздражена, и я ему говорю: слушай, когда ты узнаешь, кто мы такие, сам наберешь. И бросила трубку. Да. И вы знаете, что самое такое, это, я считаю, что такая маленькая победа, это собственник позвонил спустя год, может быть больше. Сегодня мы у него сидим на 5 объектах, и очень он нас любит, всегда боготворит. Когда я положила трубку, после того, как мы с ним подписали первый договор, после его вот этого звонка, то внутри, конечно, меня ликовала вот эта маленькая победа, но такая важная. И эта история, ну, мне кажется, она все-таки не про тщеславие, а про то, какими большими мы стали. Вот это ощущение и подтверждение со стороны, это очень круто. И я уверена, что из этого большого мы вырастем во что-то великое. Ну, самое главное — это оценивать наши вот эти маленькие победы. Да.
Well, there's a question in the chat. Yes, there were two parts in the event, the interviews, and then the second part with the panel discussion. Well, surely for those who are, let's say, outside, probably the whole speech I'm delivering today is looks like the advertisement of Vkusvill. But actually, for those who are inside, this was a totally different case. Because these stories that when we listen to these stories now, they are actually we are actually not the target audience for these stories, and this is something that I always highlight. Every story has its own target audience. Only this particular story was working well only inside. From outside, it all only looks like vanity. And in this, in conclusion of the second part of the conference, where was also the dialogue that wasn't most of the questions that were spontaneous, and the majority of them were tricky questions. There was so many questions from like, what it is so. So, when the person who asked the question already is very skeptical, but you would see how naturally people reacted. They were not lecturing, we were using stories, and that was cool.
Вот это мне очень понравилось. Вот прям сейчас. Почему вам кажется, что скорость доставки так важна? Может, на 2 часах совершенно нормально остаться с нашим ассортиментом?
Так и хочется сказать, хорошая попытка, да?
Да, но на самом деле, конечно же, в первую очередь мы считаем и видим, и исследовали неоднократно, что покупатель ждет от нас доставку быстрее, поэтому как бы это первоочередная наша цель. Вот. Чтобы еще добавить
Максим,
здесь.
расскажи про то, что мы там не просто считаем это, мы проверяли это. Помнишь, мы запускали АБ-тест, где...
Конечно, конечно.
Максим, я просто напомню.
Если углубиться в детали, то в прошлом году мы достаточно большие тесты провели, да, относительно востребовательности 1 часа в сравнении с 2, и видели, что отклик наших покупателей намного сильнее там, где мы ускоряемся и даем доставку за 1 час.
Если по-простому, то та зона, где был час представлен, росла гораздо быстрее тех зон соседних, где час не был представлен. Поэтому у нас точно есть уверенность и подтверждение от покупателей, что это ценно, важно, мы хотим расти, поэтому и не час, а уже даже 30 минут и меньше.
15
Да,
экспресс.
верно. Лен, спасибо, что подхватила инициативу. И я бы еще хотел добавить.
So you see in this snippet that in the very beginning, there was a traditional, so to say, answer, like lecturing. We are truly need this particular type of delivery. But then spontaneously, we just started to explain like normal people. We did the test and we got the result. And now we are sure. And it's actually vital for people to explain, to be transparent, not just to lecture, not just to say that we need, we are sure, but to show why you believe so. Well, you see, some people already in the audience, we see how the stories actually make a person more vulnerable, probably, and this is why it's easy for people to open up and for other people to believe in what is said. If you don't really believe in your story, if it's just manipulated, constructed story, it won't work. As a moderator, I would say the following, that openness, vulnerability, the stories of the doubts, doubts around the potential, about the vision, very, very indeed helpful, because those stories actually showed that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to doubt. Also, this idea, this notion of desire to help that was so evident in the stories also made the conference successful, made the communication successful, because on such pillars, it's easy to be one team. Well, this was the story, the of Vkusvill, of our joint work. What was new to me? The question from the chat. Well, when there are more than 1,000 people listening to me, for me that was quite new. Usually I work with smaller groups, so this was quite new. And also it was quite new to me that I wasn't following the stories in dynamics, so to say. We were not improvising that much. So as a moderator, I was improvising, but during the preparation period, I help people to find the stories, to put them in a nice order, to really follow our goal. Well, I see very nice comments. I see how already people are going to probably use this experience of Vkusvill in the air conferences. And from my side, as a moderator, as the person who was responsible for the methodology, I would say the following. I'm sure that every company, every leader has this potential for this open discussion, for this discussion one can really have around the fire, and it totally makes the difference. It makes the communication transparent. It makes communication effective, and it usually people don't use this opportunity not because we don't know how to tell the story. No, they sometimes just don't allow themselves to share the stories. Those who allow themselves to be transparent, to be vulnerable, to open up, they actually then get a better result. Even those probably, so to say, hardcore leaders been ruling their companies for decades, they also have this potential to open up and to properly communicate through the stories. I was once working with the leaders, and one of the leader was trying to share the story, to share the idea of notebooks, how it's important to have a particular notebook, to have a diary during the preparation and so on. And he was explaining in so much details how his secretary preparing this diary for him. And I just asked him, but when you've started filling your own diary? And he started sharing this story. Well, during the army time, someone just recommended me, and I was so skeptical about this. But when I was very, very critical about this, he said, but in a year, he just had the same task, and he just flipped through his diary and saw that he already had all this data necessary for the task. And it was a real surprise for him that, well, the diary actually works, and he was no longer critical. And after this, I've just told him, why don't you share this story with everyone? Then, if we would listen, if we would hear to such a story, would listen to it, they would